All right, so we have been staying in Ginza for the past 3 nights and 4 days, and we've discovered so much to do around here. We've never focused on one area in Tokyo, and this time we kind of focused on Ginza because we noticed there was a lot of cool things around here.
Yeah, typically when we come to Japan, it's like we hop around from Shibuya to Harajuku and then just other random surrounding areas. So it's kind of cool that we focused on one area this time.
Yeah, and like I said, they have really neat things to do. So here are like some of our favorite things that we like to do in Ginza.
One of the places we checked out was just right behind our hotel, like super easy to access, was Uniqlo. You know, we didn't have any intentions to go shopping. We just wanted to check it out because we were so amazed that it was 12 floors. Now, the reason why it's 12 floors is because this is the Uniqlo store because it's their flagship store. But once we got there, we were so impressed with the design. It was pretty amazing.
Like, you know, once we walk in, you'll see like this cool display of shirts like swinging back and forth.
Yeah.
There's this cool wall of their items like socks spinning around.
Yeah,
or
you really
like
the digital art stuff
and
too.
like the digital display was fantastic. I mean, I love like just the design of the building and the inside, the interior stuff that they did was just phenomenal. But yeah, so we weren't gonna go much shopping, but I did buy a couple of shirts, and Candy always likes to get the innerwear.
Yeah, I like to get their innerwear. I usually buy like their heat tech in the winter, and in the summer I buy their Airism type of clothing.
Yeah, also there is a coffee shop there too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so on the 12th floor, on the very top floor, there's a coffee shop. So that's super unique.
Yeah, that's unique. And on that same floor, there's like this rest area that faces the street. So even if you just wanted to like just do some people watching on that floor, that's pretty cool too. Anyways, it's a great place to check out if you happen to be in the area, and the other buildings surrounding that area are really cool too, so it's a great spot to hit up.
So we're staying at the AC Hotel, and right behind us is the Ginza Six. It's a shopping mall, and I forgot how many floors there were, but the rooftop is a rooftop terrace. And a lot of people like go up there to enjoy the views of the skyscrapers. There's also like a kids playground, so it's great for families.
It's like a garden. It's a lot of greenery there. So like you're surrounded with all these tall buildings in the city, and once you get up there, it's like you get to enjoy like just the greenery and just nature. So that's a really cool place.
Yeah, I think they call it Sky Garden or something.
Yeah, I think it's Sky Garden. There was actually quite a bit of people up there just relaxing.
Having lunch,
which is a great place to have lunch if you go and buy food downstairs. They're really unique food, and it's a bit high end, I would say. But if you buy something down there and then take it upstairs to eat, I think that's a great place to enjoy like the views plus the nature, and just take in all of Ginza.
Also in Ginza is Japan's oldest bakery called Kimuraya, and they're actually well known for their anpan, which is really a popular like traditional bread, type of bread in Japan. I know you have it a lot.
Well, what's traditional is the anko, which is the sweet bean. So then it's really sweet, and I would say it's acquired taste for some people. I like it. My mom really likes it. I don't think you're really like a big fan of it. But using that sweet bean anko, and then that's how they put, and pan means bread, so they kind of shortened it like anpan. But yeah, it's a very traditional flavor in Japan. So if you want to try something really traditional, we suggest checking out this bread shop.
So they have the main section with like their bread. So the main one is the anpan, but they also have, so each of them have a filling in it. They also have like a green tea cream filling, a custard filling, and that's what we got. But they have other breads there too. Yeah, so that shop or the bakery has been around since the 1800s in the Edo period. So that's why it's like well known too, because it's it's still there in the Ginza area, whereas like everything else is so modern.
New to Ginza right now is the art aquarium, and we actually kind of had this last on our list because we weren't sure if we really wanted to go. So we did have time left, so we were like, okay, let's go check it out because it's really close to our hotel.
The art aquarium is actually quite nice. It's pretty cool. Like right when you walk in, you see this amazing array of colors and like fish tanks, and it's really gorgeous. I was more amazed by it than I thought I would be, and yeah, it is a small space, but it's bigger than I thought too, because I thought it was going to be even more small. But they do have several rooms where you can look through these very colorful fish tanks, and different kind of art.
Yeah, and they're all goldfish too, which and the goldfish are always like so pretty when they're floating in water. I just loved how the goldfish, they would have different like species too, which I've only usually just see one species of goldfish, so it's kind of interesting seeing all the different species. So that was really interesting to me. So about an hour we spent in there, and then when we exited, there was a gift shop, and don't skip this gift shop because they have some really unique stuff in there. I bought some items. I would have probably bought more, but I have limited space in my suitcase, so definitely check out the gift shop when you're there. One of the things I've been wanting to do in Japan is go to a yakitori shop. So we did find one here in Ginza called Fukumimi, and the first time we tried to go, they were packed and we couldn't get in. So the second night we tried, we were able to get in, and we were so happy we were able to get in because it was so cool in there, the way they had this set up. You had to first take off your shoes, and they put us like in this little private booth. And yakitori is char-grilled chicken on skewers. It's a very traditional, like, especially like bar item, and that's just the one thing I grew up loving, yakitori. So many izakayas in Japan, they do charge you a service charge. In Japanese, it's more translated to like a seat charge, and basically for that space, for that seat, they charge you on top of the food you order. So just kind of think of it as tipping, like automatic tipping that they put on there. It varies on where you go, but the place we went to was pretty average. It was like 550 yen for each
and they do it at typically like the izakaya places.
Yeah,
or like these
izakayas,
nighttime kind of places is where they charge these seat charges.
Yeah, you won't see this at normal restaurants.
No.
This is just like at bars. So anyways, we enjoyed our food there. We had a great time taking pictures in there, because although it was difficult because it was so tiny in there, the space. But yeah, definitely a spot to check out. And they were very friendly to tourists. Their menu did have English, so if you can't read Japanese, it's not an issue there.
And then to note what time we went, so the first time we went, it was around 9 o'clock. So they just filled up all their seats because there's two people in front of us, and they got the last two seats.
And it's a weekday too, not even a weekend.
Weekday, So last night was Thursday, and we went there around like 5 p.m.-ish.
5:30.
5:30. I said it was like 5:30, and it was still like not that packed. So I think 5:30 is a great time. 5:30 to 6 is a good time to go, because by the time we left, it was pretty packed.
Yeah.
And that was around like 7-ish.
Oh yeah, and then when we left, they already had our shoes waiting for us, and I was like, oh, they already knew. We're leaving.
They're on top of it.
Yeah, they're on top of it.
Another cool eatery to check out in Ginza is Jangara ramen. It's pretty famous in Japan. It's really well known. It's a chain restaurant in Tokyo. I didn't even know this place existed until I saw this TV show, which I watch when Mom watches a lot. It's called You Naze Nihon ni, which means like, why are you visiting Japan? So what they do is they go to the airport and interview like these tourists that come in on the plane, and they ask them why they're in Japan visiting. So one of the episodes that I watched while I was here was this guy that visits all the Jangara ramen places, and he was here actually 3 years ago and visited a few places, and then he came back again to visit more Jangara ramen places, and I'm like, what is this ramen place? Because I love ramen. I've never even heard of it.
Crystal's a huge fan of ramen.
So I was like thinking like, oh, maybe we could check this place out if it's nearby, and it just so happened that there is one in Ginza, like right by our hotel. So we went to go check it out, and it's a really small space, like a lot of spaces in Japan, but this place is super small too. So most likely you'll come across a line, but they move it pretty fast, and they're very efficient with their system. Like while you're waiting in line, they take the people's orders ahead of time. You know, when they see like people are about to leave, so like, oh, what do you want to eat? So then right when you sit down, when you come in, your food is already there. So very, very efficient system that I like. So right now I read that tonkotsu ramen is pretty popular, and it's like trending. And it's a pork broth, you said?
Yeah, it's pork.
And so regular ramen is soy sauce based, but tonkotsu ramen
it's pork bone broth.
Pork bone broth based. And so that's their specialty. It comes from Kyushu too. And you can get like a basic ramen bowl with like the pork, the sliced pork that it comes with. There's like some kind of seaweed.
And negi, green onions.
Green onions.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, if you want more, you could add eggs, you can add tarako, which I don't know what tarako is in English.
It's, tarako is, I always forget, it's basically like little fish eggs.
Yeah, little fish eggs. And then some other things. And then they have everything in English too. So the top menu was in Japanese, but on the bottom you'll see like the English menu too. So again, they're very foreign friendly as well. I think it's a cool like spot to stop by because it's so well known in Japan, and you know, tonkotsu ramen is like trending. So those are our favorite places that we like to stop by in Ginza. I hope you'll get to check them out too. If you have any other suggestions in Ginza, please let us know. Hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to watch more of our videos, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.